India, the fast-growing major economy in the world. The fifth largest economy in the world. The most populous country on earth. Overtook China. India is shining, with a bright future. Poverty declining. GDP per capita increasing. The rich middle class is expanding. The Indian stock market is at historical high. More important, with the newly acquired equipment from the United States, India is gaining upper hand above China at the border. The Indian age is coming. Let's start with the basic industry. Textile and apparel. To see what's behind the shining curtain. Is it possible for India to industrialize? What obstacles India is facing in the industrialization process? What options India has? The first industrial revolution happened during 1760 to 1840 in Great Britain. This period saw a shift from agrarian economies to industrial ones, driven by factors like abundant coal and iron reserve, and advancements in technology. The transition from manual labor to mechanized production, the flying shuttle, the spinning jenny, the power looms, and later, the steam engine, revolutionized textile production. James Watt's improvements to the steam engine made it more efficient and versatile, powering factories and transportation. The Industrial Revolution led to rapid economic growth, urbanization, and the rise of the factory system. The first Industrial Revolution led to rapid economic growth, urbanization, and the rise of the factory system. It also created new social classes, including the wealthy factory owners and the working class. The Second Industrial Revolution happened during 1870 to 1914. This period saw the spread of industrialization to other countries, like the United States, Germany, and Japan. New technologies like electricity, the internal combustion engine, and the assembly line further transformed manufacturing and transportation. These advancements led to mass production and increased efficiency in various industries. New industries such as steel, chemicals, automobiles became major industries during this time. Mass production and consumerism emerged, leading to a wider variety of goods being available to the public. The rise of labor unions, socialist movements, and progressive reforms were responses to the challenges and injustices of industrialization. In the 20th and 21st centuries, industrialization has continued to evolve, with the rise of new technologies like nuclear power, computers, and automation. The globalization of trade and production has also had a profound impact on the world economy. These advancements revolutionized communication, data processing, and manufacturing. The Third Industrial Revolution led to the knowledge economy, the rise of service industries, and increased global interconnectedness through digital technologies. The Fourth Industrial Revolution today is characterized by the integration of physical, digital, and biological systems. Key technologies include artificial intelligence, robotics, the Internet of Things, new materials, and 3D printing. The Fourth Industrial Revolution is still unfolding, but it has the potential to significantly impact various aspects of life, including manufacturing, healthcare, transportation, energy. While it offers opportunities for increased efficiency, personalization, and innovation, it also raises concerns about job displacement, ethical considerations, and the digital divide. All these revolutions improved the livelihood of humanity and have profound implications to our civilization. In 1733, John Kay's flying shuttle revolutionizes weaving, dramatically increasing the speed and efficiency of fabric production. In 1764, James Hargreaves' spinning jenny allows one worker to spin multiple threads simultaneously, further boosting output. In 1785, Edmund Cartwright's power loom marks the pinnacle of mechanization, replacing human weavers with automated machines. Textile production migrates from cottages and small workshops to large, centralized factories powered by water and later steam. This shift leads to economies of scale, driving down costs and making textiles more affordable for wider populations. The Industrial Revolution ushered in an era of textile innovation, with the development of synthetic fibers like rayon and nylon. Cotton, fueled by the invention of the cotton gin, becomes ubiquitous, replacing wool and linen as the dominant fiber. Mass production opens the door for ready-to-wear clothing, democratizing fashion trends and making fashionable garments accessible to the middle class. Iconic fashion houses like Dior and Chanel emerge, shaping the landscape of haute couture and influencing global trends. As demand for textiles skyrockets, European powers establish extensive trade networks and colonies to secure raw materials and new markets. This era also sees the rise of garment production in developing countries, seeking cheaper labor and production costs. Textile and apparel industry was a kind of high-tech in the beginning of the Industry Revolution. UK tried hard to keep the technology secrets and enjoyed monopoly for a short period. With the spread of this technology, other countries caught up with UK and competed with them in the global market. To develop this industry, a country needs investment, supply of raw materials, land available for expansion. Then you can start the factory. For developing countries, after the electric power revolution and info revolution, the textile and apparel industry become very basic, not high-tech at all. No much investments, no much skill required. You can even buy materials from other countries. Furthermore, there is a certain demand globally. People needs new clothing all the time. So, this business shifted from developed countries to developing countries, down the ladder once and again, from America to Japan, to the Asian tigers like South Korea, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Taiwan, and later to China. Now, there is a trend to move from China to low-wage countries like Vietnam, Bangladesh, and India. The 20th century witnesses further technological advancements, from high-speed sewing machines to computer-aided design and manufacturing. The industry grapples with issues of sustainability, worker rights, and environmental impact, leading to the rise of ethical sourcing and eco-friendly practices. Today, the textile and apparel industry remains a stepstone for developing countries to industrialize. With continuous improvements and innovations, textile industry provided employment for a large portion of the population, accelerated urbanization in Britain, leading to the establishment of industrial cities, funded other sectors like iron and steel, fueled economic growth, and established Britain as a global leader in manufacturing. The same process happened in Japan. Textile and apparel industry helped China to integrate with the world market and later the global supply chain at large. India has a long history of textile industry. India enjoys a material production advantage in cotton, silk, and jute. India emerged as a world leader in cotton production and export, becoming known as the Cotton King. The first mill was set up in Mumbai in 1854. The United Kingdom disliked the competition and reduced India to a source of material supply. Manual spinning and weaving was a major income for rural Indian in 1947. When Indian got independent, handicraft still plays an important role in the rural area. The partition of India and Pakistan in 1947 disrupted the industry, necessitating infrastructure and supply chain reconstruction. The Indian government implemented policies promoting self-sufficiency and textile growth. Subsidies, incentives, and nationalization of mills spurred expansion. Beyond traditional cotton, the industry embraced synthetic fibers like nylon and polyester, catering to changing consumer preferences and market demands. The primary emphasis remained on fulfilling domestic textile needs, building a strong internal market. Beginning in the 1980s, economic liberalization policies opened the industry to foreign investment and competition. India capitalized on its competitive labor costs and emerged as a major exporter of ready-made garments, catering to global brands and retailers. India is among the world's largest producers of textiles and apparel. It offers direct employment to over 45 million in the country. The domestic textile and apparel industry in India contributes approximately 2.3% to the country's GDP, 13% to industrial production, and 12% exports. India has a 4% share of the global trade in textile and apparel. Indian export of textile and apparel is steady. You do not see any advancement. Just like an old industry. From 2000 to 2012 in India, FDI in textile and apparel industry was $1.15 billion, 0.7% of total FDI. From 2013 to 2023, India export about 12% of cotton to other countries, rather than use them in its own textile industry. With the rise of domestic consumption, imports of ready-made garments are increasing year by year. Bangladesh becomes the largest import source. If India could not compete with its neighbors, how can you expect a better performance in global market? India has just become the most populous country in the world. Indian demographic advantage is obvious, comparing to other big economies, and it will last until 2050 and beyond. That is why this news is a big hit among Indian media, especially when India overtakes China. But demographic advantages need job creations to make it a reality. Come back to textile and apparel industry. Indian workers are paid medium wages between China, Vietnam, and Bangladesh, all with large textile and apparel industries. But the productivity looks different. That is not all matters. A power grid shuts down from time to time. A backward transportation system, lack of convenient seaport, and union strikes make the delivery window too far to reach. This is why India could not compete with neighboring countries. Even in Indian domestic market, India could not compete and prevail. With a growing middle class, the import of apparel is growing steadily. The most possible industry to succeed does not show. A labor-intensive industry, potential to hire huge numbers of low-skilled workers, failed to make better contributions to the Indian economy. Setting up a garment factory in Bangalore, India, could involve several obstacles and challenges. Dealing with bureaucratic procedures, obtaining licenses, permits, and adhering to various regulations at local, state, and national levels can be time-consuming and complex. Corruption is another obstacle. Finding suitable land or industrial space for the factory, especially in urban areas like Bangalore, might be difficult. Real estate costs can be high, and acquiring land for industrial purposes could involve red tape and delays. Ensuring access to reliable infrastructure, like electricity, water supply, transportation networks, and communication systems, may need hard work and patience. Bangalore faces issues with power shortages and traffic congestion, can affect industrial operations. India has a large workforce. Skilled labor shortages and the need for training programs might pose challenges. Additionally, navigating labor laws, ensuring fair wages. Addressing worker safety concerns are crucial, but can be complicated. Factories who hire more than 99 people must go through the scrutiny of the Indian government, in the name of protecting workers against exploitation. Adhering to environmental regulations and implementing sustainable practices in manufacturing processes could add complexities and costs. Maintaining consistent quality throughout the production process is vital for building brand reputation and customer satisfaction. Establishing a reliable supply chain for raw materials, machinery, and other resources required for garment manufacturing might require extensive networking and sourcing efforts. Everyone has got something to say in your business. Modi ji knew these well. He went to Guangzhou several times to learn how to speed up the investment process. That is why he set up one window to tackle all these challenges. Shenzhen, a small town in South China. Shenzhen was just a fisherman's village. Hong Kong had a big share of global textile and apparel market in 1980s. People in Shenzhen did not have money to build factory, but they speak the same language and same dialect as people in Hong Kong. With the open door policy, Shenzhen was designated as one of the special economic zones, a place under the control of CCP, but governed by capitalist economic laws. Business in Hong Kong is always looking for new ways to make money. They loaned sewing machines and materials to friends in Shenzhen, paid them by piecework. Later, people in the SEZ got enough money to buy the sewing machines and built factories of their own. This business model spread to over China. Old garment factories upgraded to take foreign orders. New factories were being built. Competitors of Hong Kong apparel industry like Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and Singapore quickly moved their production into China because they could not compete and survive elsewhere. This process connected Chinese textile and apparel industry to the global supply chain. The chain reaction is tremendous. With the world depends China on clothing, China needs more materials. Then the production of cotton enhanced. Farmers got more income. Still needs more materials. Then built more man-made fiber facilities. More yarns and fabrics needed. Then built more textile factories. Need more skilled workers. Training school established. Sewing machines not enough. Then built a factory to make them. More factories hires more people. Jobs, pay, taxes. China was lifted out of poverty, step by step. Furtherly, China became part of the global supply chain. China proved itself to be a competitive and reliable partner in the world economy. A booming textile and apparel industry paved the way for China to take off. India has advantages in material supplies, large pool of workers, long history of textile and apparel. Geopolitical side, such industry is trying to move out of China due to the higher cost of labor. There is a good chance for India to enlarge the share in the global market. To strengthen the competitiveness of the industry, the following is crucial. Eliminate the red tapes and hurdles to export. Simplify regulations, reduce bureaucratic hurdles, and improve transparency. Pave the way of transportation, building highways and shipping ports. Welcome global shipping lines and vessels. Reaching agreements with foreign governments to reduce tariffs on both borders. Provide incentives to exporters. Pay their air tickets and show stands. Assistance to industry clusters. Make land, electricity, water, transportation access available. Find a balance between labor unions and sector competitiveness. Set up training centers to upgrade the skills, the designs, and the marketing. Set up fund to do the real industry investment. Provide financial support to industrial park developers, garment factory owners, exporters. Provide access to affordable credit and incentives for technology adoption and skill development. India should learn from China. Set up a special office. One window handles all related affair. In one day, not overnight. Make the Indian speed.